On February 28, 2026, a coordinated series of U.S. and Israeli airstrikes hit Tehran. The attack plunged the Middle East into a direct regional war and immediately triggered a panic across global markets. The offensive, designated Operation Epic Fury and Operation Roaring Lion, involved approximately 2,000 strikes. They specifically targeted military installations and underground nuclear facilities across Iran. The strikes achieved their primary objective, the successful assassination of Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei. The bombardment also caused severe civilian collateral damage within Tehran, with munitions striking near critical cultural and economic centers like the Grand Bazaar. Faced with an existential threat to its leadership, Iran bypassed a purely military response. Instead, Tehran deliberately weaponized the geography of global trade. In response, Iran implemented an asymmetric retaliation strategy. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps closed the Strait of Hormuz, laid naval mines, and launched drone attacks against commercial energy vessels. This map of the Persian Gulf shows why that strategy is so devastating. The Strait of Hormuz is a geographic bottleneck, measuring just 21 miles wide at its narrowest point. Roughly 20% of all globally traded oil and 1/5 of global liquefied natural gas must pass through this specific corridor. As the IRGC claimed control over the waterway, ship owners abandoned the route. Maritime traffic experienced an immediate 90% plunge, halting the delivery of roughly 10 million barrels of oil per day. The United States military and allied nations initiated a desperate scramble, deploying massive naval assets to the region to force the strait back open. By choking this single narrow waterway, Iran effectively placed the entire global economy under a state of siege. The market panic following the blockade was instantaneous. Crude oil surged 50%, crossing the $100 a barrel threshold, while European natural gas prices spiked by 45% in a matter of days. While wealthy nations feel this at the gas pump, developing nations experience it as a threat to their national survival. Pakistan is a prime example of a country uniquely vulnerable to this supply shock. Pakistan suffers from a deep structural weakness. The country imports 80% of its total energy needs. Its economic stability is directly tied to the free flow of ships out of the Persian Gulf. This flowchart illustrates the cascading macroeconomic failure occurring inside Pakistan. The initial oil price spike triggers a surge in the country's import bill. That drains foreign exchange reserves, forcing a severe devaluation of the Pakistani rupee, which ultimately pushes the nation toward an IMF default. A geopolitical energy crisis originating in the global north translates into an immediate sovereign debt and societal crisis for the global south. While crude oil dominates the headlines, a lesser-known casualty of the Hormuz blockade is quietly trapped in Gulf ports, urea and nitrogen fertilizers. Gulf states account for over 30% of global seaborne urea exports. These chemical compounds are needed to prepare the soil for the upcoming spring planting season in the Northern Hemisphere. Because agriculture operates on strict seasonal timelines, there is a lag effect. Without this fertilizer in the ground now, global harvests in the second half of 2026 will plummet, guaranteeing a secondary shockwave of extreme food price inflation. This impending global food shortage will hit Afghanistan particularly hard. Over 22 million people there are already facing a severe hunger crisis, driven by consecutive climate disasters and an ongoing economic collapse. The World Food Program, already stretched thin, cannot absorb this new shock. Facing plummeting international funding and skyrocketing operational costs, the UN agency has been forced to sharply cut its food assistance programs. By severing the supply of fertilizer during the critical spring window, the naval blockade has set a chain reaction in motion that makes a winter of mass starvation across Central and South Asia almost inevitable. Geopolitical analysts at the Stimson Center and the Council on Foreign Relations agree that the strikes in early 2026 have dismantled the existing regional security architecture, leaving behind an international order that is more fragmented and prone to sudden military escalation. The first scenario is escalation. The U.S. launches a full-scale kinetic naval campaign to clear the strait, drawing in proxy forces like the Houthis in Yemen and Hezbollah in Lebanon, igniting a multi-theater regional war. The second scenario is economic attrition. If the blockade remains unresolved for a prolonged period, the world enters a deep global recession, characterized by energy rationing in Europe and Asia, and widespread famine in the developing world. The third scenario is a stalemate that creates a toll booth regime. Iran establishes a selective shipping corridor, granting safe passage only to allied vessels or those willing to comply with new demands. By collecting these transit fees exclusively in Chinese yuan, this toll booth regime actively fractures the US-led global trade system and rapidly accelerates the de-dollarization of the energy market. Whether through military escalation, global economic attrition, or a fractured stalemate, all three paths lead to a more violent, divided, and impoverished global landscape. The extreme interconnectedness of the modern world guarantees that a targeted assassination in Tehran dictates the price of bread in Lahore and the cost of heating a home in London. To keep tracking the ongoing fallout of the 2026 Iran war and to understand the forces shaping our world, make sure to subscribe to Update-A-Scope.